протидію, ніж зараз. Розглянули питання забезпечення військових і постачання нової техніки.
We are analyzing the intentions of the occupier and are preparing a countermeasure, an even more powerful countermeasure than now. We considered the issue of providing for the military and supplying new equipment and ammunition. I separately held a meeting on energy and communication issues. We record the results of what has already been done to protect our systems. We are also preparing new solutions to prevent any opportunity for Russia to manipulate the internal life of Ukraine.
Справедливості, для правди, і це дуже важливий сигнал багатьом іншим країнам світу.
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. В начале заседания рассмотрим, как вы...
Over 300,000 reservists have been educated in 2 months, including volunteers. Around 8,000 crews of combat vehicles, tanks and personnel of artillery system, air defense systems, systems of unmanned aviation and electronic warfare have been prepared in training centers. When preparing a number of objects for capital construction, for 2023 we will pay a special attention to the construction in interests of strategic nuclear forces. The next question of the meeting is about the development of missile forces and artillery, taking into account the experience of the special military operation. The fire destruction of the enemy is an important component of military actions. The crucial role is attributed to missile forces and artillery. During the special operation, we test new ways of their combat use. First of all, it is about the use of reconnaissance and attack systems, including unmanned aircrafts and modern and advanced samples of arms.
We're meeting at a critical juncture. As Ukraine continues to seize momentum on the battlefield, President Putin has focused his ire and his fire on Ukraine's civilian population. Over the past several weeks, Russia has bombed out more than a third of Ukraine's energy system, plunging millions into cold, into darkness, as frigid temperatures set in. Heat, water, electricity, for children, for the elderly, for the sick. These are President Putin's new targets. He's hitting them hard. This brutalization of Ukraine's people is barbaric. We are clear-eyed about the difficult winter that lies ahead. We know President Putin's playbook: freeze and starve Ukrainians, force them from their homes, drive up energy, food, and other household costs, not only across Europe, but around the world, and then try to splinter our coalition. President Putin thinks that if he can just raise the costs high enough, the world will abandon Ukraine, that will leave them to fend for themselves. His strategy has not and will not work. We will continue to prove him wrong. That's what I heard loudly and clearly from every country here in Bucharest. Caving to Russia's aggression, accepting its brazen attempts to redraw borders by force, to tear up the rule book that has made all of us more secure, that would have repercussions not only in Europe, but quite literally around the world. And so the message coming out of our meeting is this: our collective resolve to support Ukraine is and will continue to be ironclad, now, throughout the winter, and for as long as it takes for Ukraine to succeed. We will maintain and bolster our security, humanitarian, and economic support for Ukraine. NATO allies and partners have provided $40 billion in arms to Ukraine. More is on the way. The United States has contributed more than $19 billion in security assistance and nearly $15 billion in direct economic and humanitarian support. We'll also continue to ramp up costs on the Kremlin and those enabling President Putin's war. We welcome the European Union moving forward on its 9th sanctions package. Russia's savage attacks on Ukrainian civilians are the latest demonstration that President Putin currently has no interest in meaningful diplomacy, that short of erasing Ukraine's independence, he will try to force Ukraine into a frozen conflict, lock in his gains, rest and refit his forces, and then, at some point, re-attack again. That tactic cannot possibly lead to a just and durable peace. President Putin must be disabused of the notion that it can succeed. The best way to actually hasten the prospects for real diplomacy is to sustain our support to Ukraine and continue to tilt the battlefield in its favor. That will also help ensure that Ukraine has the strongest possible negotiating position and hand to play when a negotiating table emerges. Short of Russia ending the aggression it started, that is the only path to a peace that is both just and durable. The members of our alliance remain concerned by the PRC's coercive policies, by its use of disinformation, by its rapid, opaque military buildup, including its cooperation with Russia. But we also remain committed to maintaining a constructive dialogue with China wherever we can, and we welcome opportunities to work together on common challenges.
Я думаю, що немає поняття у війні республіканці або демократи.
I think that there is no concept of Republicans or Democrats when it comes to war. There is society that elects representatives of this bipartisan system, society that has given them respect and trust. And that is why I'm grateful first of all to the society that supports us as well as to the Ukrainian society that defends the values of the United States of America and other countries at the cost of their lives. I think it is not quite correct to cite just billions of the United States of America as the cost of this war. The cost of this war is measured not by the price to citizens of other states, but only by the price of citizens of the Ukrainian state. It is our citizens who are fighting for our common values for freedom and democracy, not only in Ukraine, but in the world. I'm always being open. If you want to understand what Russia has done here, come to Ukraine and you will see this with your own eyes. After that, you will tell us how to end this war, who started and when we can end it.
Хто її почав і коли можна це закінчити.
Я канадка и английка. Я Катерина Валена.